Hello and welcome to the Fitting in Fitness interview series. I'm your host, Catherine Basu, and if you're a busy woman who's looking for a more compelling reason to stick to her fitness routine than just to look cute in her skinny jeans, you are in the right place. During this interview series, I'm talking to some amazing rock star women who choose to fit fitness into their busy lives on a regular basis and cite it as one of the secrets to their success. My guests are sharing how they got started with their fitness routines, how fitness has had a positive impact on their lives, and perhaps most importantly, what you can do to start fitting in fitness and changing your own life today. I'm so excited that you're tuning in and want to learn how fitness can bring your business and life to the next level.
Today we are talking with Tara Leduc, the goddess of goodness, the Chief Enthusiasm Officer at TaraLeduc.com. Her mission is world peace. Yes, world peace, and inner peace too. So if you think that fitting in fitness is tough when you are literally trying to save the world, let's talk to Tara and find out how she does it. So welcome, Tara.
Good morning!
So I'm so excited you're here. We've been chatting and it's kind of funny about our own stories before I started recording, and we're like, we gotta just get recording this. And the first question I have for you is very fitting for what we were chatting about before, which is, what does a typical day in the life of Tara look like?
Wow. I have no idea what a typical day looks like. So I'll just tell you about my previous 24 hours, which are a little more mental than normal. But I don't know that they're that nuts for a solopreneur who works from home.
Yes.
Okay, so Cole's notes. My mom is in town. She's 82. She's amazing and hilarious and completely nuts. And she's so excited because we found her a new Volkswagen Camprise van.
Awesome.
So she's buying it yesterday. We had to do the paperwork. I took this hilarious picture of her jumping beside the van. She's 82. It's so good. It's so good. I laughed and laughed and laughed. So that was yesterday afternoon, and that was awesome. Then I got home. My dog was at the vet yesterday. She had a surgery. So my husband and I had to go pick her up. She's all kind of messed up from the anesthesia and hurting and scared. But I already had a networking meeting organized last night, so I couldn't bail. So away I went out, met the girls, had some wines, told some stories, had some good laughs. It was awesome. Talked work. It was amazing. Then came home, and I was already thinking. I had this interview scheduled for 7:30 in the morning, and I usually work out at 6. So I was like, okay, I got to get home. I got to get to bed because, I got to get up at about 5 to get to my 6 o'clock workout. And I walked in at 10:30, and my husband was lying on the floor, pretty much with his face inside the cone collar of my dog. And they're lying in the living room. I'm like, okay, what is happening? And my dog was in pain, and she was whimpering, and it was so sad. And so we had to set her up. It took about an hour. We moved her into our bedroom so that we could get some sleep. And she was pretty good until 3 o'clock in the morning when she got up and started banging her big cone around. I had to take her out in the rain for a pee at 3 o'clock in the morning. Poor thing. And this morning she actually already banged into furniture and smashed some glass. I'm like, oh. So sadly, my 6 o'clock workout got bumped because I was like, oh, okay, today will be an exception. However, so thankfully this is not a typical day. This is a more chaotic than usual day. But it's actually showing all the things that are really important to me, right? Mm-hmm. So I got up this morning, and even though I've got my dog and I've got the chaos and I'm exhausted in the interview and la la la, I put on my workout clothes. So I've got a sweater and a shirt. And look at my little
nice.
And I'll just show you. I've got these amazing socks with dragons on them saying "roar," because a workout is really important to me. And my next boot camp is at 9:30, which is an hour and a half from now. And I'm optimistic. Like, I'm really setting the intention that I'm going to make it there. So in 24 hours, I've done a lot of family and relationship stuff, and that's super important. I've done some networking and some girlfriend time, which is really important, but also work related.
Right.
Because one of the girls at the meeting last night, she and I are doing a project. There's trying to get some sleep in, which usually I'm a little more strict about getting closer to 8 hours. And the fitness, right? The fitness and health. This is huge. And the reason this is also important is after kind of like wandering around and sort of experimenting, I realized that the way I personally define success is 3 things, and they all have to be there: marriage and relationships and family, health and fitness, gotta do it, because it's the cornerstone. If you don't have that, like, what are you even trying to do? And my business, right? Like, and everything, it's not easy to fit it in. Clearly, it's not easy to make everything fit, but it has to fit. Right? Like, everything has to get in there, and it doesn't always look elegant and organized. But oh well. So I'm not wearing makeup, so I haven't even washed my face. I'm
Keeping it real.
Yet today. I mean, I was showing you, I'm on 2 cups of coffee this morning. I was showing you my message for the day.
Which I
if
love,
you guys can read that.
It's awesome.
And
Literally.
Today it is a 2-part message of wake up first and also be awesome.
No, I love it. I mean, and for me, I was telling you, I didn't have anywhere near as crazy of a last 24 hours, but I've been personally working on getting more sleep. And so last night, my husband wasn't getting to bed, like at a reasonable time. And so I made the decision that I was going to sleep in a little bit. I usually have a client early that I can't sleep in, but I had the time. So I just like, you know what? I'm not going to work out first thing like I usually do, which makes my mind feel clearer. Like, so I'd want to have done that before I interviewed you. So hopefully we'll still be clear. But yeah, the sleep, I've just found, I've been working on that a lot this year, and it's hard, but trying to get those 8 hours, it really makes a difference.
It does make a difference. There is really, I think we all know, we've all heard people say things like, oh, you can sleep when you're dead.
Right.
Or whatever other like crazy talk like this. And there's real research out there that says as you get less and less sleep, it's like being drunk. It's like, having mental disabilities. Bragging about having 3 or 4 hours of sleep to me is no longer a badge of honor. I'm just like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah.
How do you function? How do you perform? And for people like you and I, solopreneurs, there's nobody to pick up my slack.
Right.
If I show up and I'm at 60%, guess what? My clients get 60%. I get 60%. Well, no, what's really going to happen? My clients get 80%. I get about 40%. My husband gets about 20%. And right. And then everything that's important to me is falling apart. So it starts with prioritizing you and going, you know what? I am the most important resource in my business.
Right.
And if I don't look after that most basic resource, it doesn't matter what else happens. So sleep, nutrition, exercise, it's super important. And as far as fitting in fitness, it starts with recognizing that priority of self-care and self-nourishment. Right? Like,
sure.
I know, to you, I'm preaching to the choir. Like, this is a really big deal. There is no one who's going to come after you and clean up, and nobody who's going to save you if the presentation or the webinar or the client meeting wasn't that good.
Right. Yep. No, definitely. I just interviewed, it'll go live today, but I interviewed Kylie Travers, who's in Australia, and she had some major health issues. She's only 30, but because she was just so focused on her business. So, I mean, we take it for granted when we have it that we can cut corners here and there, but really we're just cheating ourselves when we do that. So,
Totally.
totally.
And it's fascinating actually how many solopreneurs I talk to who have had big health issues. And it's a big part of why they're doing things their own way.
Right.
I also have, I wasn't expecting to talk about this, but it's cool. We'll go right into it. So I've actually had cancer 3 times.
Wow.
I live with cancer now. It's not life threatening. You don't need to freak out. It's cool. But it was a major factor. The first time I was diagnosed, I was like, okay, you have cancer. I got treated and cured. 3 years later, oh, it's come back. Okay, no big deal. Treated and cured. The doctors aren't worried. Everything's fine. Prognosis still excellent. And then a few years later, it came back a third time. And at that point, I was like, I think there's a message here.
Sure.
I think there must be things that I need to do differently because clearly my body is trying to tell me something. And, we all get these messages. Oprah tells us this, so it's the God's honest truth. You get these messages and they start as little whispers. And then they get a little louder and they get a little louder. And eventually it's burn, frying pan to the side of the head. So wouldn't it be amazing if people could start to notice, right? Notice, ooh, I'm getting some little twinges. I'm getting some little messages.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
And you should.
Right?
So,
And like this whole health and fitness piece is a big part of that message. It's a big part of like cancer prevention, but it's a big part of cancer treatment. It's really flushing and oxygenating your cells and keeping everything healthy, getting all of the inflammation out of your body, moving, sweating, getting those crappy thoughts out of your head.
right.
Because you and I both know, like the best drug in the world is a great workout or even like a really good walk.
Yes.
Get out there and walk and like walk the junk out of your head. Get it out. It's incredibly healing and incredibly inspirational for your business and what you need to do in your life.
For sure. Now you're obviously very passionate about all this now, and you have your 3 like little pillars: the relationships, the fitness, and the business. But were you always like that? And can you tell us that progression? Maybe?
I will tell you. Okay, so I told you about my mom and her van, right?
Yes.
So my mom is a retired doctor. She's 82. She's no longer practicing, but she's a retired doctor, and we even laughed about it yesterday. Her prescription for nearly anything was exercise.
That's awesome. She's ahead of her
Yeah,
time.
like she was a long way ahead of the curve. And she just said she almost never prescribed drugs for depression. She said, get out and walk. Get out and walk.
Yeah.
And it's huge, right? Like people rely on drugs and prescriptions, and there's a time and a place, don't get me wrong. But this was the environment I was raised in. Like, come on, kids, get out, stop, shut off the TV, go outside and play. And so this was how I was raised. Like, I swam competitively when I was little. When I was a teenager, I went through that phase that I think we all do, where we start eating like fries and junk and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden my pants are tight and I'm a vain little 14, 15-year-old. And I'm like, oh, hang on, I might have to figure something out. So like already at a young age, I knew that exercise was a great tool. And so maybe you get into exercise for something else, like not to have a big butt. But then you realize when it is such a part of your life, when you skip your exercise, You probably would die if you skip 2 days in a row. I can go a little bit longer, but like everything starts to feel clunky and stuck. Your body feels crappy, but your brain and your heart, like everything, your spirit gets kind of, I don't know, foggy. It's kind of, I don't know, like dirty, not in a cool, sexy, dirty way. Dirty, like in like I gotta clean this stuff off.
Yeah.
I don't feel shiny. I don't feel clear in my thought and in my heart. And this, right? So that's a long answer to is this how I always was? Kind of, sorta, but like not. It was never super rigid.
Sure.
And that's kind of my policy in general. Nothing is super rigid,
No,
right? Like, I have known people who are obsessed with with exercising, and if they miss a day, like the end is nigh. And I'm not sure that is the right path for me,
Right.
or for a lot of people. Maybe it's the right path for them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd ask too, like, so are there times when, and you've kind of said this, but if you want to expand on it more, like if you skip a day, how do you feel? How do you deal with that? I think, and I asked that question because for those of us who are already in that whole routine, it does feel, we don't feel ourselves, we don't feel right, like you were describing when we do skip that day or more than one day, and we want to get back into it. But I also find that for people starting out, if they skip one day, they feel like they failed themselves. So do you have any advice for, when that happens, how do you get back on track?
No.
Feel that way?
The only way to fail is to give up altogether. Honestly, that is the only way to fail. And that only means that you failed right now, because the second you're trying again, you're winning again.
Right.
So like, this is all iterative. This is all about continuous improvement, and just show up and try one more time. So that's the first most important thing. There is no fail unless you just completely give up.
Right.
For me, I'm now 47, and I have walked both sides of this, right? Like when I trained for a full marathon, which was the year I turned 40, it was hard on my body.
Yeah.
And you have to start looking at training plans, and even something as huge as running a full marathon. For those who don't know, that's 26.2 miles, 42.2 kilometers. It is crazy far. Like, and so to do that, people imagine, you got to run every single day. And in fact, the rest day, I would say, is the most important part of it.
Yeah.
This is a huge part of self-care. You gotta, when you become that committed to exercise, you then have to really watch, like, how's my body actually handling how hard I'm pushing it? And like, I wound up getting really injured. I wrecked my SI joint, which is in my low back. It's right where your pelvis meets your low back. And it was hideous, and it continues to bother me. However, it's kind of one of those reminders of, this is what happens if you push too hard, and you ignore every message you're getting from every direction.
Yep.
Right? The rest day is a sacred day. The rest day is a kind thing to do to your body. And I'm going to say it goes across every aspect of your life. Like, sometimes you need a rest from your husband. I'm not saying cheat on him, but sometimes, like, you're like this, and the best thing to do is, you know what, I'm going to go read a book in the bathtub until I consciously love you again, right? Like, sometimes you just need to take a little break. Sometimes, you're trying so hard on your diet and you're so good, and then you have a cheat day. And you know what? One cream puff is not going to kill you. Like, the constant rigidity, I think, is really hard on you. Sometimes in your business, you need a freaking day off.
Yes, yeah.
And yeah, maybe that's the day that you're exercising more. Maybe it's the day that you need to lie in bed with Netflix and chill out
Yeah.
because everything is in balance. And this is so important. You are always good enough. It doesn't matter if today you had a failure, which I would rather call a mistake or a
Yeah.
challenge or recorrect.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow's another day. This afternoon is another part. You're going to have another hour to try again. Everything is still fine. You are still amazing. You are still amazing.
And awesome.
Listen to me. You are still amazing.
No, I love it. And you've talked about this too, but what, just to kind of remind people again, you know, a lot of people come to me, they want to start a fitness routine just to lose weight, but I always try to tell them there's other benefits, and if they focus on those, that's when they'll really actually lose weight. But what are some of those benefits that you've seen for yourself, the positive benefits of fitness, besides just, you know, losing that weight, especially when you're a teenager?
Well, you know, as a bonus, your pants will fit.
Yes.
One of my friends, she started a workout regime and she had to readjust her rear view mirror in her car because her core was stronger, so she was sitting taller.
Oh wow, that I've never heard that. That's impressive.
Isn't that hilarious? But I mean, honestly, like this joy that I clearly exude,
Yeah.
a lot of this is because of this whole healthy lifestyle. It's nourishing myself well with good food, which makes my whole body feel better.
Right.
It's having one glass of wine, not four, and not a day, right? Like it's the balance, the exercise. I am telling you, if you're not in the habit of exercising, you start walking 10 minutes a day.
Yes.
Go outside, and I personally recommend pull those earbuds out and like check out the world.
Yeah.
Smell how the day is, which sounds a little weird. I am a yoga teacher, so I'm going to say a lot of weird things. But seriously, like you, Catherine, I run all over the world. I am an addicted traveler, and I've run. It's one of the ways I deal with time change.
Yes.
And jet lag.
I'm all about that.
Amazing. Right? You go on a long plane flight and you arrive somewhere, and I really try to kick myself out in the morning. And even if I don't have the jam for an actual run, I go for a walk and I get that blood moving and I see the sun where I am. And your body understands this, right? We are meant to be awake when it's light out. We are meant to be asleep when it's dark out. You get out and you get in the sunshine or the rain, whatever the weather is, and you smell where you are. You kind of look around, you see the people, and like you experience what is happening. So that's for travel. Sorry, I went a little sideways there. But like day to day, get out even for 10 minutes. Notice, what are the leaves on the trees doing? Have some new flowers come out. Oh, did a bird go by? Did your neighbor get a new car? Like, what is happening? You start seeing beautiful things. You start seeing little kids. You start seeing old people. Like, you connect back to your community, to people. And for those of us who work online, all by ourselves, out of home, on the one hand, yes, it's a dream because I have so much flexibility.
Right.
The bummer is, like, you stop talking to normal people who aren't inside a screen.
Right. That's
And you
true.
get out, like, get outside. Get outside. If the best you've got is a treadmill, that's super amazing too. But honestly, get out and engage in, you know, like whether you talk, whether you just see someone, get out there, breathe it, feel it, smell it, taste it, touch it. It is so good for you to get connected back in.
I love that. Going outside to get back within, right?
Totally, right? Like, well, and you want to bring it back to what I do. This is peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, fitness is another form of peace for me. And I'm going to say that for just about anyone, if you can give this a try, just trust me, like experiment with this. Try it 10 minutes a day for 5 days in a row and let me know. Let Catherine know. How is this? How does this feel? Because I am going to bet you, I'm going to stop just short of offering someone $20 because but I would bet you, if I knew you, if you were right here in town, I would bet you, I would meet you for coffee and I would buy you coffee if you honestly could tell me you don't feel better after 10 minutes a day outside walking. And I promise you, your business will be better, your marriage will be better, your relationships will be better, your body will feel better, everything. Like the creativity starts to flow, the smiles start to happen, everything is better.
No, I love running, but I started walking more. I mean, it actually started because I had an injury, so I couldn't run as much as I wanted to. So it's the signs again. But I started walking more, and I found a really nice park nearby, and it really helped me with my business. A lot of like creative things that I have going on now, or things that have changed in my business. I didn't even, wouldn't have thought to do them if I hadn't been like out walking around, just connecting more. So I definitely recommend, you don't have to be doing some intense workout and going to the gym. Even though I'm a personal trainer, like you could, and that's actually, why I'm so passionate about doing the online training, because helping people make fitness more of their lifestyle. And so, maybe you work with your trainer on the strength training, but then you have the time to go enjoy the world around you for your cardio, right? So, I think there's so many benefits to that.
Well, as you know, women especially, we need a little strength training. We need weight-bearing exercise for osteoporosis and like long-term health. I told you, my mom is 82. She bought a van yesterday, and Catherine, I hope you post it because the picture is so funny. She was so excited. I'm like, Mom, jump, jump, jump. And she did. She's 82 years old, awesome. And she got pretty huge 82-year-old hair. It is the funniest, and she's got a huge smile on her face. And you know what? 82 can look like wheelchairs and watching TV and like just about waiting for God to call you back, right?
Yeah.
Or 82 can be vibrant and alive and entertained and full of joy. Like what you do today is a tiny investment in what life looks like in the future.
Right? That's definitely true.
Totally true.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here, I guess. If someone's watching and they're like, oh, this sounds great for you guys, but I'm so busy, I have no time, to get started at all. What would you, you did say the 10 minutes, but do you have any other pieces of advice for, to help them see that they could actually fit it in?
Do you know what? Honestly, set yourself a challenge. Just go ahead and think that I'm full of crap. That's fine. I'm pretty, I have broad shoulders. I'm cool with that. Feel free to think that I'm full of crap, and so is Catherine. And I challenge you to see what happens. First off, take a day off. If you're that into it, take a whole day off. It's going to feel a little scary. Schedule your posts on social media, put down your phone, close your laptop, and get away and go and engage with your husband, go and hang out with your kids, go do something else, right? We're talking baby steps here because fitness, full-on fitness and having it a key part of your life, it starts with recognizing that self-care is huge, right?
Yep.
This, for me, the reason I want you to do it is because inner peace leads to world peace. But straight up, I want you to find peace in yourself because it will bring you freedom in your business. It will bring you freedom in your life. Freedom is awesome. If you think you don't have time, you are a slave to your business. And that is not what you want. That's not why you started a business.
Right.
We all have crazy ass times of launches and whatnot. And I get then the temptation to like power through. Like I so get that. I'm strongly empathetic. But you know what? Like honestly, Catherine and I, we may be a tiny bit cuckoo, but she even said like this walk every day is so good for her creativity and her business, and it's totally true. It's totally true. I don't think I have anything more powerful than saying, I dare you to take a day off. I dare you to try a 10-minute walk every day. And like, by all means, respond back to Fit Armadillo, respond back to Tara Leduc. And like, if you want to tell me that I am completely mentally deranged and this did not work for you, that's cool. But like, give it 5 days before you tell me that I'm nuts or nuts on this topic, because I know I'm nuts for 100 other reasons.
Well, you know, I have to say I relate. You know, because I have the business online, so it's great because I can visit. I have family all over the world, and so it gives me the freedom to do that. But then it's always that temptation of, you know, I still want to keep up a little bit because I do travel a lot, so I can't take like, you know, 3 months of all the time I traveled, you know, totally off. But what I did do, I had the chance to go to Europe a few weeks back, and for those days, I wasn't there for that long. I actually, you know, I checked email, but otherwise I did not do any, you know, client work or anything. And taking that day off, I mean, those days off, it was so freeing, and it felt like it was a longer time. So I definitely can say, like, you know, you might just take the day off to kind of reconnect and adjust everything, but you probably will feel like it's longer, you know, and more rejuvenating than the one day. So that was a big lesson for me.
Well, I love that you learned that lesson. Like it's huge, right? We do what we do to create a life that we love. And when you become a slave to your business and life, that is not fun.
Right.
And you deserve better.
It's true. No, definitely.
No, it is. Like, I want for everyone who listens to this, well, even I want it for the people who don't listen to this. I want you to have a beautiful life. I want you to have a happy, joyful life. You start, like, you should be fulfilled. You deserve a life that is the life of your dreams. And, you know, getting some exercise, I'm going to give you 1,000% guarantee it is going to feel better, and everything gets better. And you know what else? Keeping it tight is good for your marriage. Like,
it all connects back to the other things.
Well, I mean, straight up, right? You know, I'm a yoga teacher and I get into some pretty weird stuff. And so, like, I won't freak everybody out right here. But I mean, straight up, core strength is good for, hello, how's it going late at night with Mr. Husband? It is. It's really good. And like, this is joyful. Knowing that you look good and you are a hot tamale, this is great. It's good for your confidence when you get up and present. It's good for your confidence when you go into the bedroom. It's great for like picking up your kids and not pulling an ab or a whatever.
Right.
Right. Like, everything comes back. This is the vehicle you got to cruise around in this lifetime. Look after it. Yeah. Maintain it. It's so good for you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. So your official dare, we're saying, is to take one day off and to get some fitness
one
in
day
on
off.
that day.
Pretty edgy. And start there. Like, honestly, start there. I realize there will be entrepreneurs that it gives them heart palpitations to start day off, but do it because it's so good for you. And 10 minutes of gentle exercise, 10 minutes of walking every day for 5 days. And, you know, you can, we're like, Catherine, you're all over the place and you can tell them where you are. So I'm on Instagram and at Tara Leduc. I'm on email, tara@taraleduc.com. I'm on Twitter. Well, no, don't even tweet me because I don't know how to use it. Apparently I'm there at Tara Leduc. Seriously, some things
They
are
can
just.
put you the complaints on the first day, and then they can contact you at the end of the week and the
Yeah,
real
like
places.
I would love to hear from you. I would love, love, love to hear from you. I'm all over Facebook like a maniac. Like, I don't know what. Fat kid on Smarties, man. And so my page is Tara Leduc, and you'll see my crazy smiling face. I'm pretty easy to find.
Awesome. And I'll
But
share
I
all
would
the
love
links.
to hear. I would love, love, love to hear how it's going. 5 days of like, honestly, if you can't find 10 minutes to walk, I'm gonna have to come over to your house and do it. And if you think I'm nuts online, like you just wait until I'm bouncing around your living room.
You can bring your dog with the cone, and then they'll have even more problems.
I guess because she smashed some stuff this morning because she crashed into things. Like seriously,
Aww.
you do not want me and my 100-pound dog with her cone collar in your house.
Oh, okay. So they have to take this dare very seriously.
Yes, because you don't want me in your house. I'm slightly cuckoo.
I love it, Tara. And I wanted to ask you, obviously you said you're a yoga teacher, so I'm sure you have more inspiration beyond just like getting people to go with the fitness. Do you have anything, maybe a mantra that you like or a word of the year that you are trying to live by, or just some inspiration that's not necessarily fitness related to kind of leave everyone with for that part?
Totally. This is mental and spiritual fitness. So, and this is huge, huge, huge. So, what I've been teaching people this week, and it's on my Facebook and it's on my Instagram and it's all over the place. But do this with me, Catherine. I'm even going to make you do this with me. So, I want you to put one hand on your heart and put the other hand on top of that one.
Okay.
If you're in a place where you can and you feel comfortable, close your eyes and drop into your heart. I want you to start to breathe into your heart. Breathe deeply and just feel the energy of your heart. With every breath, feel the energy of your heart, that beautiful energy that shines from inside you. Oh, look at you. You're starting to smile because it feels good.
It does.
It's really nice. So I am calling that the love virus. And it's spreading around the world. And I'm starting to do monthly challenges, monthly peace challenges, and that's what's going on for February. It's the love virus. So you do it and you feel it, and then share it with somebody else. Because that's how it's spreading. We're taking over the planet. We're melting down hard drives.
I like that.
Yeah, and especially if you have kids or if you know kids, teach them because kids love this. They're so tuned in.
That's awesome.
They're so tuned in. It's really, really great.
That's awesome. So we've touched on this a little bit, but would love to give you a chance to share with everyone else, more besides a little quick bio I gave them, more about what you're about and where they can find you, and more about the challenge, so they can check it all out.
So, yeah, what's happening right now? I think my address is something like facebook.com/Tara Leduc, but it might be something weirder. So definitely search me, Tara Leduc, on facebook.com. And the Love Virus Challenge is there right now. What's coming soon is I'll be launching a course, I'm so excited, called Cocktail for Your Soul.
Ooh.
And it's 6 weeks to feeling way the bleep better about your life. And it's like, oh, I want to love you up, and I want to help you feel great every day. If you tried that, whatever, 20 seconds of Love Virus, you're going to feel really good. And it's going to be easy. It's about 20 minutes a week, because I know that this stuff is hard to take on, and I don't need to stress you out. Like trying to make you feel more peaceful. Like that is not my thing.
Yeah.
And then the next thing that's coming, and this is like in pre-launch, sort of oh, sorry, my dog is wrecking my house.
Oh.
Like I hear the code.
He's like, don't tell anyone, he or she. I don't know if it's a he or she.
Poor Kiva. Poor dog. She banged my house. Anyway, so the next thing that's coming, I'm so excited about this, Catherine, is the Sacred Commerce Telesummit. And it's all about sacred commerce and right livelihood as a path to world peace. It's about offering out your service to the world and being paid for it beautifully. And this is a path to world peace. This is the opposite of companies selling plastic trinkets that go in the landfill and making millions. I'll be interviewing entrepreneurs who are making like big coin, doing beautiful things in the world, making a difference in the world, helping humanity, helping the planet, creating world peace, and making huge coin, because this is what we should be doing, like you're doing, right? It's beautiful. You are helping people create healthy lifestyles and feel awesome in themselves. This is important. This is how it should be.
Right? I love that. And that's awesome. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people want to, I know I love listening to interviews of other entrepreneurs and hearing their stories. So that's exciting to be able to check that out. And we often think that if we're making a difference, we can't make any money. So it's awesome that you'll have that opposite experience to share.
And there's a weird story out there that if you're spiritual, you shouldn't sell. And it's like so backwards, It really is. If you are doing beautiful things that are moral, things that light you up, things that help other people, yeah, you should make money. Absolutely. This is how we change the world, is we spend with our heart. We support the things that are important to us. We create change in the world by doing things that feel really great. Clearly, I'm a little excited about this.
I would be excited too. I'm excited to check it out. When do you have like a timeline for when that's going to be?
I believe it's going to be the last weekend in May.
Okay, cool.
This is so early that this is the ultimate pre-launch, because we're really in the nebulous project creation stage. But I'm so super stoked, and it's going to be great. It's going to turn into an annual thing and grow. And gosh darn it, I'm going to change the world.
Hey, I mean, you have to say it to start doing it, right?
But it is. I feel so much energy about inspiring entrepreneurs and like regular people. If you're still working job, like that is amazing. But you can change things from where you are. Yeah. You can. I used to work for government, and I used to lead from the middle, right? Like I was sort of, at the higher end of being in the middle. And so I had enough freedom that I could just preach. I could really promote projects that I felt so strongly about, that I knew were for the good, that would move things forward. And you know what? You start, like, even if you're in an office environment, even if it's toxic, you start shining your light, and you're like, you know what? I don't care how crappy everybody else's attitudes are. I'm in charge of me. And sadly, this is something I really struggle with. Apparently, I'm only in control of myself. Despite the fact that I want to be boss of the entire universe, the goddess of goodness, right? Like, I want to take over it all, but I still remain only in charge of me. So this is the thing. You change you. You start right here, and you're like, you know what? Today I'm going to be happy. And when somebody comes over to my desk to whine and complain and bitch and gossip, I'm going to be like, that's cool, and I'm not a part of this. And you don't have to be horrible about it. You just like, I'm not engaging in this conversation. And it starts right there. It starts right at your desk.
Yeah.
And you just watch. You start shining your light. And just stay strong in it. Know that you're doing you, and it feels good for you. And you watch and see how it changes. And like a positive person like that, you're going to start getting promotions. You're going to make more sales. You're going to attract beautiful attention. It all goes this way. It all goes this way.
I love it. So much wisdom here. I mean, we could be chatting for hours. I don't.
I know. I'm watching the time because you know what? In about 10 minutes, I got to leave for boot camp.
I was going to say, but I have to make sure you get to boot camp now. So I have to like let you practice what I'm trying to preach so you can have the time.
Exactly. I would happily jibber jabber about this all day long because like this is what it looks like when you're lit up.
Yeah.
This is the energy that comes forward, and we all have this within ourselves. And it can get kind of tarnished and kind of forgotten. But it's there. We all have this beautiful bright light. And the whole world is going to change as we step into this bright light. Shine it up. Shine it up. It feels really good.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I do want to let you get to your boot camp for real. So we'll...
Might be arms or shoulders. I might almost prefer not to go.
Oh boy. Well, yes, we'll get you there. We are reminding everyone of your dare, which is to make sure they take one day off and then get in 10 minutes of walking. Doesn't have to be more than that. If they want to, if they're really rebellious and they want to get more than that, they can. But
Oh, yeah. By all means,
start with 10.
Actually, you know what? That's a super important point. Because when people start, they're like, 10 minutes, that sounds like nothing. And then they walk for like 90 minutes, they get a blister, and then the next day they're sore and they don't go.
Right.
So, like, I'm going to say even moderation in this.
Okay.
Even moderation.
Small.
Like 10 minutes is awesome. 20 minutes is still awesome. If you're not used to exercise, like start small.
Yeah.
Be gentle. Be kind. Love yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we won't go too crazy. Don't be too much of a rebel.
Yeah. Like a mini rebel, a micro rebel.
And then I will share all the links so that you guys can get that in, accept the dare, and then let us know how it went. And, you know, if you want to complain, only complain to Tara's Twitter account so we don't have to deal with it.
Feel free to complain. Like in my world, moving forward and complaining about how it kind of sucks while I'm moving forward, that's totally cool. That is totally fine. Just keep moving forward. You have not failed. Even if you do 3 days out of 5, that's not failure. That is still improvement, and that is going forward, and you are still awesome.
I love it. That's our message. Everyone watching is awesome.
Totally. You absolutely are. I don't need to meet you personally to know how awesome you are.
I love it. Well, thank you, Tara, so much for spending the time, even after the crazy 24 hours you've had to inspire everyone. So we definitely appreciate you being able to inspire us after all that even.
Well, this has been fun. Hopefully you can't see ginormous bags in my eyes. Crazy night that I had.
Oh my goodness.
But there it is.
Yes.
Like, that's how you fit in fitness. You skip makeup.
Now they know our secret.
There it is. You're going to have to go with the inner glow from within because you don't have time for the makeup.
I love it. Awesome. Well, we'll let you get to boot camp, but thanks again, Tara. And everyone watching, don't forget to go back and check out, the little show notes we have for this interview and then the other interviews so you can get more inspiration after the first 5 days of Tara's Dare and keep things going. So thanks, everyone. Thanks, Tara, again for your time.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Have a great day, you guys.
Thank you.
Try the love virus. Don't forget
yes, I forgot to say. Okay, love virus too.
Virus. It's so good.
That's only
Okay.
only
Have
20
a great day.
See ya.